Just trying upon reading it today.
Bad decisions and putting the court in a position to have to revoke her or minimum give her some kind of inpatient treatment, that it's just going to address all those. We've done, I think Ms. Davis is detailed out everything that probation can do for her. Not sure what's left beyond revocation.
So, Ms. Davis, other than, I mean, obviously you went through in this update for me. I'm going to go through and make sure that everyone agrees and we're all on the same page. So, Ms. Johnson, you were put on probation back in 2017, and that was a 5-year deferred probation. Is that right? Was it 5? And you were sentenced to probation on that theft in December of that year. And your probation in this case was extended for 2 years. So the motion to revoke was dismissed. You were given an opportunity to remain on probation. And then the pending DWI was just going to kind of see what happened on it, right? So then it looks like August 21st of 2022, you commit the offense of driving while intoxicated with a child under age in Chambers County, posted a bond on that. And so then a new warrant was issued for a motion to revoke your probation based on that. You were arrested on those warrants. You made a bond on those. I'm not sure why I kept giving you a bond. I obviously should have looked more closely at all of this. You came to court here May 1st, entered a plea of true to the driving while intoxicated with a child under 15, and that you failed to not become intoxicated. So then I'm look at your interview here with the probation department and take that into consideration with the fact that while you are out, you have, it says here you have 5 chronically ill children. Is that correct?
I have 4.
4. One is deceased.
Well, yes.
Okay. One's deceased. So you have 4 living children that have health issues. Is that correct? You have health issues. Is that correct? Mental health issues, correct?
And health issues.
And health issues. And you obviously know where children come from, right? And you make the decision to get pregnant again. Well, I mean, but you know how you get pregnant.
Bravo, West. Bravo.
You know how not to get pregnant.
Hold on, shot.
So the problem, the biggest problem that I have, Ms. Johnson, is that you're on probation for a crime that relates to endangering and abandoning a child. And now you've pled true to another offense that has to do with you endangering one of your children. And that's by driving while intoxicated with that child. The case that you are on probation for, I looked back, you and looks like another person, lady, were in a car, passed out with your 3-month-old in the back seat. So you didn't get a DWI because I guess you were parked and passed out in a car. It's in all likelihood you drove to where you were. So you're lucky you didn't get a DWI on that one. And here you are with another DWI. Actually, this would probably be, if they were all counted as DWIs, probably your third, because the first one probably should have been that you're on probation for. There was another one here in Jefferson and Nederland. I don't know what the outcome of that was. What's the outcome?
I think that's the one pending.
Gotcha. So are you on probation for that? And there's MTRP on the DWI?
Yes.
Okay.
She has 2 pending cases in misdemeanor court.
Okay. Anyway, so I understand, and the mental health issues, I've reviewed all of those as well. The thing is, you've been given every opportunity, and probation has all kinds of opportunities and have given you to try to get those things, help with them and taken care of. But you haven't taken advantage of that. All you've done is put yourself, your children, and other people in the community at risk. At this time, I'm going to find that you entered your pleas of truth.
Also, as it says in the pre-sentence investigation, when we came aboard on her case, we did mention to her, as you mentioned earlier, the importance of dealing with her mental health issues. And she did start going to treatment for that. And she did, I believe, comply with paying her fees and community service.
And I see that, and I appreciate that, and those are the least of my concern. Obviously, fees and community service are important, and that's a part of probation, and I'm glad you did that. But putting herself, her children, and the community at risk is what I have to look at more so.
Judge, also in the competency evaluation, I believe that doctor did say that she had certain issues that she was trying to take care of, and
I appreciate that as well, and she'll be able to do that on her own at the appropriate time. At this time, I'm going to find, Ms. Johnson, that you entered your pleas of true to counts 1 and 2 freely and voluntarily. I'm going to find those counts true. Well, hang on a second. Ms. Lesniak, did you have anything to add?
No, Your Honor, I think we can abandon counts 3 and 4. I don't think that
Okay.
is necessary for this hearing.
And
I think she did end up taking care of it.
I think that's right.
and Judge, her dad and her aunt, they are here to provide support, and we have informed them about what was in the pre-sentence investigation, etc.
All right, thank you. Anything else?
No.
Ms. Davis, other than what's in your report, is there anything else for you that you would like to add? Okay, then I'm going to find sufficient evidence at this time to find you guilty and revoke your probation. I'm going to find you guilty of abandoning or endangering a child. I'm going to sentence you to a term of 12 months in the state jail prison. You will receive credit on that sentence for any time that you've been in custody that the law gives you the right to receive. I need a certification. I'm going to hand you a trial court certification that shows this was not an agreement, and so you do have some rights to appeal. I'm also going to hand you a written admonishment regarding your ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition. Because of the judgments entered, there's one case. Because of the judgment entered against you, you are ineligible under Texas law to possess a firearm or ammunition. Possession of a firearm or
What's up, people? How you doing? What's up, everybody? How you? Oh my God, was that a case for the ages? Oh my God. Like, are you kidding me? I cannot believe that woman, all those kids, and cannot even drive them where they need to go. Hats off to Judge. I'm sorry. More judges need to do that. Drop the hammer on her. Deny. Don't feel bad for her. Bravo, Judge West. How we doing, people? Maniac Monday on a Tuesday. Excuse me for my appearance. I'm still in pain. To shave, raise my arm. Went back into the office today, but it was tough. How we doing, people? Let's rock and roll. I have vault clips. I actually was able to get a couple of good clips for today. What should we go with? Let's have some fun with Judge Van. Inciting riots. Really. Let's do it.
Doing the first appearances.
State your name, sir.
William Morgan. You can just scribble. Jim Morgan, you're fully court charged with felony littering. You understand that charge?
Felony littering.
Sir. I understand you've been given copies of paperwork and advised of your rights. Based on your application, I find that you do qualify. I'm going to go ahead and appoint the public defender to represent you. Any question about that? No, sir. Your criminal history?
Nothing since 16, and I was out of California with the DUI. Locally, nothing since, looks like 11.
Pretrial release, be at the pretrial release office before 9 o'clock tomorrow. Court date's gonna be August the 7th
Thanks,
at 9
Pete.
o'clock. No contact with the victim.
Step to your right to the T. Or whoever the property is.
Oh, and I'm gonna pop my my new PO box. It's a virtual, this new Fandangle type mail system. So if you want to mail me anything, send me something cool. I know a lot of you've been asking me. I'm gonna pop it up here from time to time, and if you want to send me anything, that's where you send it. Thanks.
Don't go to the property. When the green light comes on, sign.
Nah, I didn't get that McBurney.
State your name, sir.
Okay, here we go.
Mr. Weon, you're for the court charge of felony littering. Do you understand that charge?
Felony littering.
Go ahead, sir.
Do you understand the
You
charge?
understand?
Next.
I really don't understand because see, I didn't live there.
Nobody lived there, did they?
No, Mary T, I didn't live there. Did I will? Thank you. Mary T, I didn't live there. I got there because look here, I was in a wreck.
Wait and talk to your assistant public defender about what happened, okay?
I don't know what's funnier, Judge Van or when the public defender pops in on the Zoom. I don't know what's better. They are like the Johnny Carson and Ed McMahon of court shows.
Okay.
All right, based on your application, I find that you do qualify. I'm gonna go ahead and appoint the public defender to represent you. So you have an attorney now. You understand that?
Oh, sir.
Deputy, criminal history.
22 controlled substance paraphernalia, FTA. 20 smuggling, contraband, possession of meth. 19 meth paraphernalia, less than 20 paraphernalia, couple of VOPs. 18 battery, and it goes back to 5.
Bond 75,000, dates August 7th at 9 o'clock. No contact with the alleged victim.
Step to your right to the T. When the light comes on, sign. Next.
Definitely, Mark.
Lang. Ready, sir? State your name.
Trevor Durant, Son Lane.
16.
Mr. Lane, for the court, charge of possession of controlled substance,
Oh, look at him.
alprazolam, and driving license suspended or revoked. You understand the charges?
You understand?
I understand him.
All right, I understand you've been given copies of paperwork and advised of your rights. Is that true?
What up, Robert Morley?
You got a copy of your paperwork?
I can't understand.
You got a copy of your paperwork?
Yeah.
Were you advised of your rights today?
Was I advised?
The right,
of my rights
mhm,
today?
the right to remain silent.
Oh, yes, I was.
Corrected.
Based on your application, I find that you do qualify. I'm going to go ahead and appoint the public defender to represent you, so you have an attorney now. Deputy, criminal history,
He shows no history, sir.
pretrial release, be at the pretrial release office before 9 o'clock tomorrow. Submit to random UAs. Court date's going to be July the 24th at 9 o'clock. Good luck, sir.
Step to your right to the T. When the light comes, step over. Next.
Next.
Red X, sir. State your name.
Sign it already.
Mr. McMullen, you're for the court on a fugitive from justice warrant. It's a violation of probation for ag assault, possession of meth, and burglary out of Thomas County, Georgia. You understand that, sir?
Sir.
The only issue before the court today is whether or not you're the James William McMullen that Georgia's looking for. If you agree that you are, it's probably in your best interest to sign the 5 copies of the waiver of extradition by video in my presence.
Yes, sir. Hey, okay. Can I ask a question? How long have they got to come to get me?
I'm gonna give them 30 days from today, but the truth of the matter is they've got longer than that if they need it.
Good.
There you go.
Sign the 5 copies by video in my presence.
They are coming. Sign. Next.
So if they ain't came in 30 days, they cut me loose.
No,
No.
that's not the way it works. If they let us know that they're gonna come get you, then they've got additional time. The good news is you start getting credit though starting today.
Alright, one more signature where the green light is. Next. Register. Step on the red X. State your name.
Whoa.
Bevan registered. Mr. Register, you're fully court charged inciting or encouraging a riot. You understand that
What?
charge?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. I was listening to this, didn't see what he looked like. What riot are you inciting? Jeez.
Understand, yes, sir. I understand you've been given copies of paperwork and advised of your rights. Is that true? I'm sorry, sir. I didn't understand that. You've been advised of your rights today? Yes, sir. You got a copy of your paperwork? Yes, sir. All right. You've indicated you're going to hire your own attorney or represent yourself. Is that how you're going to proceed? I'll have my attorney with me. His name is Don Dennis. He's not going to be with you over there. He's not with us over here. I'm sorry. He's supposed to be there. But he's not. Anyway, deputy, criminal history.
Shows he just got put on probation on a felony drop yesterday.
What up, Mayor?
You gotta be kidding me.
What day did you get put on probation?
Yesterday.
That's what I thought, yeah.
I wasn't aware of any of this. Well, that's not, I didn't know. That
Huh?
won't be a violation of your probation. Because this happened before that.
Right.
All right. Bond set at 5,000, court dates July the 13th at 9 o'clock. Good luck, sir.
July 13th, 5,000. Next. State your name.
What's your name, sir?
Aaron Hobby.
Mr. Hobby, you fully court charged lewd and lascivious battery victim between the ages of 12 and 16. Charge?
Kitty Diddler.
You understand your charge?
Yes, I do. Yes,
I
sir.
understand you've been given copies of paperwork and advised of your rights. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
Chop them right off.
You've indicated you're going to hire your own attorney or represent yourself. Is that how you're going to proceed?
I have a lawyer, A. Middleton.
Okay. Yeah, criminal history.
Shows the L and L in one.
In 2001 in L&L?
Yes, sir.
Onset at 500,000. Court date's going to be July the 13th at 9 o'clock. No contact with the alleged victim or anyone under the age of 18.
Step
Yes.
to your right to the T. Next.
Next.
State your name.
Abbott
Shabbat, you fully court charged inciting or encouraging a riot. You understand that charge?
Wait. Those other two must have been together. Howard Stern's son and Sugar Ray over here inciting riots. Snowflakes. Maybe there's a DeSantis rally going on or something?
Yes, sir.
I understand you've been given copies of paperwork and advised of your rights. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
You indicate you're going to hire your own attorney or represent yourself. Is that how you're going to proceed?
Yeah.
Okay. Deputy, criminal history.
He just had a false report in juvenile history, and that's it.
Bond set at 5,000. Court date's going to be July the 13th at 9 o'clock. Good luck, sir.
What? Step to your right, sir.
All right, here we go. Little Millmore. All right.
Also at 9.
Now, you want to hate this guy for a minute, but if you listen to why he doesn't show up to court, it's true. I mean, it's a very jerk-off way of saying it, but if you listen to his reasoning, you'll agree.
30 a.m. with Judge Buchanan.
I have to ask
That
Paul how he entered a
sixth
protection
floor
order. In that
City
case, it
Hall
had
in
nothing on
courtroom
the
2.
petition.
So do you have the notice to appear and the Zoom instructions, sir?
Yeah, I'm gonna appear, I'm not gonna use Zoom. I'm not gonna use Zoom, I'm gonna appear.
Oh, that's great. That's absolutely perfect. Yep, because that
I love Millmore. She's so nice.
way there's no question. that you're here. All right, then, Mr. Lindsay, is there anything I've told you that you do not understand?
I'm dubbing Judge Milmore as Judge Great Aunt. She's like that great aunt, your grandma's sister that took her career before her family, never had time for a husband, worked her way up in the ranks, going to be a Supreme Court justice, never had time for a baby, but she's solid aunt to her sister's kids. Judge Great Aunt Milmore.
No,
Okay, good. Now, you had an interview with Mr. Milks this morning and gave him some information on your home address and your telephone number. Without telling me that
Judge
information,
Sniffles.
can you just tell me if that was the correct information? So in other
Yes,
words,
it
the
was.
address and phone number is correct, correct,
Yeah.
right?
1325 North Tennessee Boulevard.
No, you don't have to say it. You don't have to say the address. We got it. Thank you. All
Okay.
right, so let's move on to the next file. File
That's my
20
dog.
dash 00377 SM 00376 SM and 00375 SM. Sir, these file numbers correspond to a ticket that had been issued to you
Oh,
on
Mark dropping memberships. Grab it.
January 25th of 2020. The charges are three unlicensed dogs.
They
The
put my
bench
dog
warrant
out.
issued, however, let me finish. The bench warrant issued, however, because you failed to appear for an arraignment on February 26th of 2020. Do you recall why you weren't in court that day? I know it's been a long time ago.
As they put my dogs down, I had no reason to appear.
Okay, so he's saying you're giving me court appearances for my dogs, but they put my dogs down. So why am I showing up? Bravo, sir. Bravo. Bravo.
Okay.
Oh, gotta love people. If they're dead, why do I have to show up?
Okay, so I'm going to arraign you on the charges. The ticket, as I stated, was issued January 25th of 2020 at about 11:51 a.m. at the location of 1325 North Martin Luther King Boulevard here in the city of Lansing. There are three charges, meaning that you had 3 dogs in the city of Lansing, sir, that were not licensed. Each of those charges is a misdemeanor, and each charge carries a maximum penalty of 90 days in jail and or a $500 fine. Do you understand these 3 charges? Let me finish, sir.
Can I
Do you
finish?
understand these 3 charges
Yes, I
and the
do.
maximum penalties?
I
Okay,
do.
now, thank you. Is he pleading not guilty to these 3?
That's correct, yes.
I'm pleading not guilty. I already put my dogs down.
Sir,
They did.
the court is going to enter a not guilty plea for you so you can come back for a pretrial and talk to the
Who cares about what happened before? We don't care. Statute of limitations. They did.
prosecutor or your attorney will talk to the prosecutor on your behalf. So you're going to come back to court for a pretrial July 18th. That is at 10 o'clock a.m. with Judge Stacia Buchanan. That will be on the 6th floor of City Hall, courtroom 2, and it will be in person on that date. So you should have all 3 of those notices. You've got them?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Ooh.
Okay. All right. I have no questions, other questions for your client if you'd address bond.
Thank you, Magistrate. I would just like to also say that the court did provide me an opportunity to review a pretrial release assessment from Mr. Pfeiffer from the prosecutor's office where they're requesting $40,000 cash surety. Did have the opportunity to review that prior to today's, prior to coming here just right now, Your Honor. At this time, Your Honor, even considering, I'm sorry, looking at all the considerations here, we are requesting a high PR bond in this matter. And the reason I'm requesting that is it's my understanding that my client may have some prior convictions on his record. According to him, these are nonviolent offenses that had occurred years and years ago. That he's indicated to me that he's never failed to appear for any hearings before. Coming to light, the fact that he's got these dog licenses, I did not realize that that was a failure to appear regarding some of those arraignments. He's obviously expressed some concerns as well regarding his failing to appear that day and the status of his dogs, but I don't think that's something really to consider much right now. He does own a house in the area. He receives Social Security and also attends church, Your Honor. I do not believe that he's any sort of flight risk. He's got very strong ties to the communities as well. I would just note, regarding the request from the prosecutor's office, I've got serious concerns because essentially we're just looking at some checked boxes here. It gives no indication as to the severity of some of these allegations made forth by Mr. Pfeiffer. There's nothing to discuss here. Again, it's just checked boxes. This is a very subjective criteria based on Mr. Pfeiffer's assessment of things. And I would just refer to a PhD study from the University of Michigan that does have serious concerns regarding pretrial assessments that can be based on an individual's subjective idea, looking at whether something is violent, whether there's stalking behavior. These are very amorphous terms that it's hard to defend against or even address properly here. So without Mr.
This guy is reaching. He's a creep.
Pfeiffer here just sending in these check boxes forms, I don't think it gives the court anything really to look at here or for great consideration. With that being said, given my client's age, his social factors at this time is, according to my client, his lack of a criminal record, or at least a violent criminal record, we are requesting a high PR bond. Thank you, Magistrate.
All right, thank you. I did forget to ask him that the address. Does Mary Brown live there? Do you know?
Good question.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you, all I need is a yes or no answer to this, sir.
No.
Does Mary Brown live with you?
No.
We go.
Sorry, it's no. Okay. All right. Anything else then, Mr. Miller?
No, and thank you very much, Magistrate.
All right. So, Mr. Lindsay, the court does look at two factors. Are you a flight risk? Are you a danger to the public? We do look at your criminal history. We look at your ties to the community, your history of whether or not you appear in court, and certainly your ties to the community. The court also looks at the allegations, recognizing, sir, that they are allegations, and you have the presumption of innocence. It looks like the most recent conviction that you have in the state of Michigan is a attempt misdemeanor controlled substance, and that was back in 2018. Prior to that, you have another felony controlled substance conviction in 2011, a retail fraud in 2004, and a traffic matter also in 2004, and another traffic matter 2007. So you have limited criminal history. Well, I certainly understand that these are very serious charges, the assault by strangulation, 2 counts, as well as the domestic violence. But as I tell you, I tell everybody, these are allegations. You absolutely have the presumption of innocence. The court does have the burden of making sure that you are not a flight risk and that you are not a danger to the public. So with that, dangerous weapons, you have to report to pretrial services upon your release and be sure that you do not go within 2,000 feet of where she's located at any time. That includes work, home, or school. We're also going to order victim notification if possible to ensure that if you do go within that zone, she can be notified. Do you understand that, sir?
Yeah, but you don't need to put a GPS on me. I'm not gonna go near her anyway.
Okay.
Sir, that's you're gonna be having the GPS tether on and you're gonna follow what the magistrate ordered today, okay?
Stand there, but you don't need to tag me like a dog. That's all I'm saying. But if that's mandatory, I will accept it.
It is. It is. All right. Sir, on the
my dogs are dead and you don't have to tag me like one.
unlicensed dog charges, it's a $200 PR bond on each. You do not have to post any money. Just have to make sure you make all of your court appearances on this and don't violate any state or local laws. Any questions?
When is the court appearances on these for the dog?
I'll show you. I'll show you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, anything else, Mr. Milks?
Thank you, no.
Hurry
Okay.
up, get me out of here.
Okay, you're all set, sir.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
You're welcome. You're all done.
Are we done?
Yeah,
All right.
Yes, sir. All right.
Bravo,
you're
sir. Bravo. All right. I have some great cases coming up. I just want to touch on an update from today in my lady's courtroom. Mr. I have no idea what day it is. He had his arraignment, or maybe not. Is it Tuesday? Thursday? Christmas? Here we go.
Oh, yes, about the whole trip.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Yes, about the whole truth.
Okay. All right, and sir, you heard the plea that your attorney placed on the record, correct?
I did not, Your Honor. I did not.
Oh, no, you did not put the plea on the record. No, I just swore you in. I'm sorry, you said there was a resolution. I apologize. Counsel, if you can place the plea on the record.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm speaking to my client regarding the charge of setting for pretrial today. My client will plead guilty to the amended charge of disorderly conduct, to wit, loud and boisterous in a public place. And then, if that's accepted by the court, the original case of assault, obstruct, hinder, obstruct a police officer will be dismissed. Advising of his rights, understand his waiving his right to have trial, etc. And he's ready for the court's examination.
All right, and so Mr. Petrick, now you've heard the plea that your attorney's placed on the record, correct?
Correct.
And as the amended charge of disorderly conduct, how do you plead?
Outside.
And how do you plead? Outside.
I'm sorry? As to the amended charge of disorderly conduct, how do you plead?
Outside.
It's either guilty or not guilty, sir.
Not guilty.
Not guilty, okay?
That's not what he told me in the breakout room, Your Honor. Maybe he thinks this is arraignment, I don't know, but this is a pretrial, I told him. He wants to take advantage of the plea offer. Do you remember we talked about this, Mr. Petrick?
Yes.
And you wanted to take advantage of the plea bargain and plead guilty to disorderly conduct, what you told me, is that correct?
Yes.
Want to hear, Your Honor?
Yes, please.
Mr. Petrick, on June 11th, 2023, approximately 1:47 p.m., a.m., were you in Memorial Park in the city of Wyandotte?
Yes.
At that time, you were outside. Did a police officer approach you and wanted to question you about possible warrants or what you were doing in the area, correct?
Yes.
And at that time, you pulled away from him and said, I don't have any warrants, and refused to stay and got a little loud in public. Is that also correct?
I walked away. Yes.
Yes. I'm satisfied, Your Honor.
All right, the court is also satisfied the plea is knowing, voluntary, actually accurate. Well, let me just ask, sir, you went over your rights with your attorney, correct?
My rights, yeah.
Okay, and so you understand that by entering into a plea, you will not have a trial. Do you understand that?
Yeah, the plea, yeah.
Okay, and you understand that by entering into a plea, you understand the possible penalty, correct? You could have jail time, probation, you could have credit for your jail time, you could have a combination, you could have fines and costs, you could have all of that.
I understand the individual.
Okay,
Wow.
all right. Has anybody promised you anything, threatened you, or coerced you in any way for you to enter into a plea?
I just want to be on my own probation.
Okay, so has anybody threatened you at all, sir? Or are you entering into this plea voluntarily?
No, I didn't enter into anything. I was at the part on my own plea.
Okay. All right, the court does find the plea as knowing, voluntary, and factually accurate. The court will accept your plea to the amended charge, dismiss the original charge per the plea agreement. And
That guy's out of here.
the court will schedule this matter for sentencing and the other matter. We do July 19th. We'll start both of these for July 19th
That's fine, Your Honor.
at 9:45 a.m.
We address the issue of his custody.
Oh my God. This guy. Look at DeSanto. She's laughing.
I'm sorry, the issue of what?
Of his custody.
Bond is currently 2,500, 10% GPS tether, yes.
He tells me he's on a limited income, Your Honor, Social Security. He cannot bond out. He's been there a number of days. He feels this is the only matter he's being held on. Is the court disposed to change his bond conditions in any way?
I mean, can you at least assess him for some help? Right?
Well, no, because your client had a warrant out for his arrest. And so he had failed to appear, so the court's not, and the court reduced, the court set a low bond at 2,500, 10%.
I understand, because the court released him with a tether and with no bond.
Why not? Honestly.
Will appear, he supports one minor child. He's responsible for, and he's on Social Security at this time, so it's limited funds.
All right, well, the court's going to deny the request to reduce the bond. The court's going to indicate bonding conditions are continued.
You know, DeSanto's not gonna.
Thank you.
Okay, and so we're going to have to, we're going to have to somehow have Mr. Petrick,
Re-interview.
yes,
Oh no. Not another one.
okay.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be off the record for a moment.
Poor guy. Oof. I feel bad for him. I mean, we're laughing, but I feel bad, man. He needs to be some competency, something. Like, they're not even suggesting it. I don't care if it was from drugs or whatever, but this poor guy. Okay, we have a main event that I think slid under the rug in Thurston. It's a TPO with a pew-pew and a dog and a guy that looks Amish and this lady from England. Oh my God, only in Thurston. We are going to enjoy this one, I promise.
Here before the court, and that's why we're still talking now about an incident that happened in February. Is that right?
Oh,
That's
boy.
correct. We tried 3 times. And then I was.
So, Murder, She Wrote over here is on Zoom. and Angela Lansbury is going up against this gentleman who is Quaker Oats' stepbrother, and he's going to come on. He's in the courtroom, and he has his girlfriend behind him. So this is fun.
Abroad for May. So the case had to be dropped on the third time, and I repetitioned as soon as I got back.
Okay, all right. Okay.
In fact, the sheriff even called him to say they were trying to serve him, and he said he was no longer living in Thurston County, which is untrue.
Okay, thank you. All right. So, Mr. Brown, before we begin,
oh, Pete, you're gonna love this one. Laura, sit back, enjoy this goodie.
Let you know that what Ms.
Thank you, Lisa.
Burnett said that you said that is threatened to kill her.
Lisa, I'm glad we're here to help you out. Anything you need. Are you in Discord? We talk a lot in Discord. Hit my mods up.
And shoot her is a crime, and you could be charged with a crime. I don't know whether there's any criminal investigation or not. Doesn't sound like it currently, but I want you to know, I want you to be advised that, and depending on what evidence is available, you could potentially be charged with a crime for that behavior, and you're under oath. And if you were charged with a crime, anything you say in this hearing could be used against you in any criminal hearing. So I want to make sure you understand that. And so you have the right not to say anything at all in that regard.
Nope, I'll tell you exactly what happened.
Okay, so, but you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, she's on the oath too, right?
Yes, she is. Yes, she's.
That's good.
Okay, but she's not. She hasn't said anything to me, which sounds like she's been charged as a risk of being charged with a crime.
No, it's just falsification.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So you understand what I just said?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Brown, let me just ask some questions here. You own some dogs or dog? I don't know whether it's a plural or single.
3 dogs, 2 half Yorkies, and those 2 are accents. We're trying to have.
Okay. And there was animal services visited you in response to a complaint raised by Ms. Burnett. Is that accurate?
By multiple people, including Burnett, started with Diana Crimmon, the person who stole my dogs, and they actually decided to launch off after I received my dogs back. And it's been a joint effort from her and my neighbors, and there's actually been numerous reports done by officers and animal services proving that I am a qualified dog owner and they're up to great standards.
Okay, so animal services was called out. Ms. Burnett was part of the reason they were called out.
Yes.
And sounds like you were upset that they were called out because you believe that you're giving good care to your animals.
I wasn't upset, I was annoyed by this point.
Okay, so you're annoyed and you called Ms. Burnett. Is that accurate?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and what did you say to her when you called her?
I told her, I didn't tell her I was gonna kill her. I said, I have the right to protect myself and my family, and I will protect myself by any means possible. So leave me alone. You are trespassing my property. I do not want you here anymore. I'm going to follow a restraining order, and this is harassment. My dogs were found by your property 2.5 miles away. 1 dog was found by our property 2.5 miles away, with the other 2 in the yard, which once I can explain the dogs and the temperament, you understand that's an impossibility for her to have gone 2.5 miles away. That's generally located by her house. And on the same day, they actually, the people, I don't have that in my report because I didn't, it's at my house, I didn't put it in the binder. They were actually at my house at the day the dogs were out, which 1 dog was on a run inside the 6-foot kennel.
What's up,
for one side and one side, and the collar was off. And the one that was, she's almost a year now, was out of the fence, which she can't, at that time, couldn't climb the fence or get out. But the 2 big dogs are still in the yard. But Jolene, the mama dog, was found by her property. And I called and said, leave me alone. This is harassment, because by this point,
okay, slow down. Let me interrupt you
yes,
with some questions. So did you know Ms. Burnett at this time?
I've never seen her for a day in my life.
Okay, so how did you know it was by her property?
I looked up and I tried to see if my dog was actually by anybody's property that did this report. And it turns out that my dog was actually not too far from her property when she was picked up, because she took off on that property and probably tried to come back to my house. Somebody picked up. That's not proved, obviously, at all.
So you suspect Ms. Burnett picked up your dog, but you don't know that?
I have no proof on that. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right.
It's just general
So
location.
you called her and said that you intend to protect you and your family, and you do so by any means necessary. That was what you told her?
Yes, I did. I said I would never. I didn't say anything about going to her house or going out there. I said basically just leave me alone. That's it. I know you can't look at these letters, but there's 2 letters in here to my kid's mom, and another one was sent to her friend.
There's no way this guy had a handgun. He definitely came out with a Revolutionary War musket. Look at that vest. The comments. When I'm laughing, I'm not laughing at the case. I'm laughing at the comments. There are some golden nuggets in that comment right now.
And basically saying I was a chimo, which is disgusting, and to protect your kids from me. And there's also this whole packet is all case reports from the police. This is nothing I've written. This is how many times they came to my house and harassed me. I just want to be left alone. I'm not gonna hurt anybody. I have a 10-year-old. I know that's not relevant. You know, they even put it on the house I built. I built a tiny house, and they poured it on it, and I had to move. But she was talking about living out Thurston County. No, I said I had to move into a trailer that I bought. And I have 2 trailers on the property, and I have to move to my kid's mom's house and back there because I can't be there for an extended amount of time. You know, that's what she's talking about. And the violent report, I have nothing violent in my record. And if I have nothing in my record past 11 years. If I do, I don't remember it. And she did a background check before she dated me. And there's nothing violent on there to prove it. You know, and for alcohol and drugs, I'll give you a hair sample. I've never done drugs and alcohol.
Why is everybody smiling? His girlfriend's like, ooh, he mentioned me in court. Look at her. He's a douche.
Well, I've been drinking since I found I was going to be a dad. Like literally, I don't know if you can take that from alcohol, but literally there's no alcohol in the past 11 years on September 28th. Okay. I've been sober.
Very good. That's good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So actually it wasn't really a challenge. It was kind of like, I'm going to be a dad. And I was like, I can't do that and be a dad. Some people can't, I can't. So put it down.
Yeah, that's smart.
Thank you.
Okay.
And it's
so,
okay.
Okay.
Just talking about in here in the back. And
okay. So you can slow down a little bit.
Yes, sir.
So I'm looking at criminal history and I don't see anything of violence there.
No drugs either. I don't do that stuff. Oh, sorry.
I mean,
sir.
I see,
sorry, sir.
You know,
pot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see
and
some of that.
Drinking when I was a kid.
Yeah. I see that. Okay.
Yeah. That's it.
All right. So since you called Ms. Burnett in February and told her you're going to protect you and your family by any means necessary, have you reached out to her in any way?
No, not
have
at all.
You gone to her
March too. I'm sorry to correct you, sir.
Have you gone to her property?
No. Why would I?
Okay. But the answer is no. You haven't.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sorry. My apologies.
Okay.
Information.
All right. Ms. Burnett,
sorry.
Do you have anything else you want to add?
Yes. That is not. That for a start, I have nothing to do with a dog found. I didn't even know the dog was found near my property, and I'm not sure that that is true. I think that that's something fabricated, frankly. And I can tell you that he was talking about having a gun, that he would use it, that I shouldn't think that he wouldn't use it. He kept referring to the gun and saying he's coming for me and my dog, he said. I don't know if he knew I had a dog or not.
Your little dog.
That he got my information in order to warn me and tell me that he has a gun, he's not afraid to use it. The reference to the gun was repeated number of times. So, you know, I think he's known to have outbursts of anger. He attacked the vehicle of the process server, and I think the process server was going to put that in the report. I don't know. And I that issue of the rap sheet, that was hearsay. That's for sure. I didn't have a test. I didn't look into it myself, but that was hearsay. But there's already protection order from a bar in Yelm, apparently, and hearsay. And I know another protection order, and there's a reason for these protection orders because.
Right, but yeah, I'm not going to decide. I'm not going to decide this case based on somebody else's protection order. So it's just going to be whether there's one warranted in this case.
Yes. So the issue of warning me, that he has a gun and that he's not afraid to use it and that he will come to my property, and he was very aggressive and yelling and shouting. It was something that just shook me to the core. And as I say, I live alone. I don't have close neighbors, and I'm terrified of this man coming near my property. He knows my address now. He shouldn't know it, but he does. And I have nothing against him personally, except that he has threatened me with a gun. And he's known to have a violent and sudden temper, and then he calms down and he's all nice and sets up a different picture. So.
Okay. And just so Mr. Brown knows, I am looking at the proof of service, which is in the file of this case, and the Mr. Hottailing, who did the service, says that Mr. Brown slammed his gate 4 times against my truck, attempted to pull off or break my sideboards on my truck while leaving the complaint. So that's what Mr. Hottailing said in his sworn statement on proof of service. I'm just telling you that's what he said. You don't.
Oh, no. I can't disagree with what you're saying. I'm just going to ask, can you pull up the police report that was response to when he actually talked to him that verified what he said was actually false? Because the structure of the gate and where he said, and the police actually had numerous incidents with this individual. I don't know if you're able to pull that up.
I don't have a proof.
But actually, in there, the police said like, it's obvious what he's saying is false, you know, and he recommended to me that I would follow a restraining order against them. And I don't know if you're able to verify. You can contact any of these police officers or any of the animal services people, but all this has honestly it's nothing to do with her. She's using the court system right now to further the gains of Diana Krim and the person who stole my dogs. That's something against me because she's charged with first-degree dog theft, and she is a founder of Second Chance Dogs. This is a rather big case, and she's been accused of stealing dogs in the past, and she's using other people. And Sandra Burnett is a mutual friend, I believe, of Diana Krim and Ido Avery, who said they have no acknowledgement of each other. And when I told her, you know, I said, don't come my property, I had no idea she was friends with Ido. I thought she was friends just with Diana Krim. I was like, just leave me alone. You have nothing to do here. That's it. That's like the main thing.
Was she at your property?
She comes through, there's a shared driveway, and I was wondering if I can restraining order against her from my property, not me, just my property. It goes through my property to Ido Avery. And she stops there, she takes pictures, and I can show you all the pictures. Like I know I can't, but there's like the dogs. But let me back up real quick to how the whole thing started, please. It started, sorry, story time. My dog was 6.5 weeks. My puppies are 6.5 weeks. They were inside the house. It became too much for me to have them inside the house. So I made a temporary shelter for them outside. It was supposed to be temporary. It was a 20-foot squared area with black cloth around it. I have pictures of it. And my dog's chain got tangled up. You know, I didn't know what was going to happen. I got home and this person, Diana Crimmon and Louis Armstrong, were at my property taking pictures of the dogs, and I was like shaking because my dog was on a 3-foot chain and like couldn't really get to the water very well, and like I put the next day on my dog on a 40-foot chain, and I started to build a 6x6 kennel, which I was already always on the process of doing, you know. And these puppies, I said, were accidents. I'm not a puppy mill. I didn't want to have puppies, you know. I just got home late. I made a structure. I messed up on it, and this person takes pictures of it and blasts it all through the internet, and then ends up stealing my dogs. And she actually put herself there at the time of the dog theft in this paper from the police.
So we're not going to talk about Miss Prim. She's not relevant.
And then as soon as I got my dogs back, I'm starting to get report after report after report against me. I think like several reports, including her. You know, it's just like, he's just a horrible person. He's abusing his dogs. He's doing this. Every time the officer comes out, animal service comes out, they prove that they were lying, that it wasn't there, and the mannerism, the dogs and everything. I mean, the last report was 4 days ago. You know, I mean, they're still coming out. They said my dog was like not even moving or hardly moving, and like the animal service was like, "Hey, I'm here again," you know, and like she saw Jolene, CJ, and Jinx. They all ran up to her. They're like, "Yeah, they're perfectly healthy. They're good dogs," you know, and it's been an ongoing thing. And I've been constantly harassed by these people, and
Okay, so don't say these people right now. The only
excuse me,
issue is as
excuse
to
me.
Ms. Burnett.
I've been
Restrict your comments to
constantly
that.
harassed, and by one of these people has been this lady, Sandra Burnett, who I actually don't think I've ever seen a day in my life before today. You know, it's like, and this is largely to make it so when that case goes to court, it, you know, pushes that away. She's using the court to further gain. That has nothing to do with her. And
Okay,
so you see, I've never contacted her.
Is she a party in the other court case you're talking about?
She's just one of the people that's been sent
No, I've
out.
got nothing to do with that court case.
Ms. Burnett, I'll get back to you.
She's just one of the main sent out there to try to.
But she's not a named party in that case. No, her name is not.
No, sir. So I guess what I'm saying is technically hearsay with that. It's just that her reports happened the same time everybody else reports happened as soon as my dog came back. The only reason I messaged her because my dogs were found right by her property, and also you gotta say I'm 2.5 miles away from my dog. She would have went to the neighbor's house. My dog won't go to him, and CJ would never ever leave Jolene alone. That dog's obsessed with her. I tell you, if I go out, if I take just CJ, as soon as he does, go right to the gate. You know, he's all he cares about is mom. There's no way he wasn't separate. So yes, I was upset, and I called her, and I was, you know, I guess I was a little bit, you know, I guess mad would be a correct terminology, yes, but you know, I didn't tell her I was going to go to her property, and I was basically just alone. I just want to be left alone. You know, I mean, I have to have cameras up on my property 24/7 now, and if one of them dies, I have to go home. I'm the one who's worried all the time. You know, yes, I'm strong, I'm young, but there have been people who, not they, excuse me, there have been people who come to my property at 2 o'clock at night. Last month, somebody tried to steal my dad's truck. They stole the.
Okay, let's just stick to what you're.
Sorry.
I don't want to bring everybody else into it. Just Ms. Burnett.
Apologies, miss. I guess it's in my frame, it's like all this is just one case together, and you're right, it's not. And the only reason I called her is just to tell her to please leave me alone. I didn't use the word please, obviously. I was just basically saying, don't come near my property. You have no reason, no right to walk on my property. Yes, she had an easement to go to the neighbors, but she wasn't using the easement for that. She was using the easement to get out, take pictures, record things, and send them in, which has nothing to do with the easement at all. And she went off the 10-foot, I believe, of the gravel pathway as well. And a character witness, you can ask if I even yelled or been upset or anything. You know, I mean, got some other people on there tell you, like, I don't know, you know. It's not what I do.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Oh, thank God.
All right.
Can I
so-
address that? Your Honor?
Ms. Burnett, just sit tight for a moment here.
Okay.
That was wow. Wow. I see a lot of new members in the chat. Welcome. Need anything, hit up our mods. See a lot of new faces. I love it. Welcome. Best community on LawTube, baby.
I'll just sort of summarize the facts that I'll find in this case, which is that there was a complaint about Mr. Brown's treatment of his dogs. Animal Services responded. It sounds like you have the dogs back.
Yes, sir. Now, plenty of reports of what they said.
Okay, has the dogs back. And Ms. Burnett was somebody who called Animal Services by her own testimony, and apparently was on some of the documents that Animal Services provided, which is how Mr. Brown got her phone number. He made a call to her, which I think he's recognizing today he should not have done. That's not appropriate. And he said he was upset when he did, and he basically told her to back off, and he was going to do whatever he needed to do to protect himself. Ms. Burnett makes clear that he referred to his ownership of firearms numerous times in that conversation. He hasn't admitted that, but he does admit that he was angry when he made that call. He says he's not been out to her property.
Thank you, Monica.
And Ms. Burnett seems to indicate that that is the case, that even though he may have said he was going to come there, he's not been there. But given the tenor of that conversation and the inappropriate nature of the fact that Mr. Brown was calling somebody who had made a complaint to Animal Services about his dog, I am going to enter a protection order, which says that Mr. Brown, you're to have no contact with Ms. Burnett at all.
Can this be a two-way order,
No,
please?
it can't. You're not to go within 1,000 feet of her residence. And Ms. Burnett, if you want this order renewed, you'll have to come back to court and ask for it to be renewed. It's in effect for 1 year from today's date.
Is there a way to contest this?
Can I just say that I have never been off the easement ever. I didn't take those photographs, and that the cops didn't say the guy was making it up. The cops said to the guy that there was no proof, and they
No one cares.
couldn't lay a charge because there was no proof.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm not giving that much great weight either way. I'm just going to go based on the evidence that I just summarized.
Excuse me, Your Honor. I'm trying to get a job in Seattle as a nanny at $35 an hour. This is going to destroy my opportunity.
I'm sorry. That just summed it all up. I didn't hear that part. He said it like it's so manly. Job to be a nanny. We need a replay.
Opportunity to have that.
I just summarized.
Excuse me, Your Honor. I'm trying to get a job in Seattle as a nanny at $35 an hour. This is going to destroy my opportunity to have that. Can you please look at the case and see that I've never
He can't even take care of dogs. He can't even take care of himself.
contacted to respond to this person since that day?
Yeah. Okay, I just said that.
Yes,
I've recognized that has said those are the facts of the case. I understand that maybe this has some impact on you going forward, but the case I have here is Ms. Burnett's request for a protection order. I find that it is appropriate that I enter it, and I'm going to enter it.
Okay.
And it will be in effect for 1 year from today's date. So no contact at all with Ms. Burnett in any fashion. Don't go within 1,000 feet of her property.
Can she just not come to my property? That's the only thing I care about.
Yeah, I'm not entering any order, but she's heard you say that that you don't want her on your property. You don't have the ability to restrict her from going near your property. She says she doesn't even do that. And she says she's not the one who took any photos. But I'm not. There is no order as to Ms. Burnett. So I'd just be clear about
proof that she took more pictures. It's in the report that she made. Can I come and make even though she has restraining order on me, can I get a restraining order against her in a future case?
If you think it's warranted, you can file something.
This is literally all public
If you think that you need a protection order against Ms. Burnett, you can
against
ask
my
the court
physical
for it.
property.
At this point, I'm not going to grant it.
Okay,
no
but
basis.
I'm kind of curious though, because there was one phone call and there has no been, I haven't responded, I haven't talked to her. Honestly, I didn't even know what she looked like at all. And this is just put stuff on my record. It's a blemish. I have absolutely nothing on my record for the past 11 years. I have, since I became a dad, I have fully
Yeah, it does. I acknowledge that.
Yeah.
You do have you have a protection order currently as to another party.
Yes, another one. So he has two.
As to an Angelica Wilson. So there's an active protection order in effect.
Yeah, she actually is.
So the truth unfolds. 2 protective orders now. You ain't getting that nanny job, Disco.
Wanted to try to drop that from a mutual party. She didn't
Okay,
contact
but
me.
it's still active. And then you also have one with Ms. Crimmon.
Wait, I don't have one with her.
You are a blemish.
Yeah, you do. There is an active order.
I was never
Crimmon.
served.
You have an active order. I'm just looking on it, or I'm right now.
I wasn't served in this criminal. I got a vanilla envelope. I'm not arguing with you. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to argue with you.
Okay, just know that I'm looking at an active order that's in effect until the 17th of November of 2024, telling you to have no contact with Diana Crimmy. So
I did not know that.
Okay, just so you know. So there is an order.
I have no idea. This puts a blemish in my record, though.
No, well, you already have to.
No, as Got the Memo would say, you don't have a blemish. You are a blemish, sir.
2 no contact orders on there, so
Yeah,
I'm not
they're
sure if they're
appropriate.
significantly impacted. Okay, thank you, Mr. Brown. All right.
So, is there a way for me to contest this?
Well, that's what we've been doing. We had the hearing here, and
Well, I wasn't able to. I'm not trying to.
Okay.
I just. Okay, 1 second, sir, please.
If you want to appeal it, you can get appeal paperwork at the front counter, and they'll give you appeal, but you'll have to pay the appellate fees to get before Superior Court and appeal it.
Superior Court?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
yeah. And when because I didn't know I couldn't just give you this paperwork, because I literally have a mountain of paperwork of them taking pictures.
All right. Let me make clear. That's not the issue for the court. The court, I decided it based on the phone call you acknowledged you made to Ms. Burnett.
Oh.
That's the basis for me entering this order. And
But
the threatening nature of that phone call, I thought was serious enough that I would enter the order. That's what it was based on. You acknowledged making that call. Ms. Burnett said you made the call. She said you haven't come to her property. I'm not taking, those are the facts upon which I based my decision today. Just so you know.
But I disagree with
all
that.
right.
That
I know
doesn't
you
seem
disagree.
like a good,
All right, thank you.
Because
okay, no,
if you
Mr.
look
Brown,
at it,
Mr.
though,
Brown,
I
we're done.
have a I have
Okay,
a
you want me to
huge
walk
paperwork.
off the bench here so that you'll stop
it's like,
talking?
I was,
Okay.
I just no, I'm going, sir. I know I'm the
Okay,
last
all right.
person.
Thank you.
And I can't fight this. So I was trying to figure out how to get this, because the person who stole my dog is still at large.
Okay, I can't do
Oh, I got
The person who stole my dog is still at large. The person who stole my dog, he's still at large.
got one more thing. Has anybody ever told you you look like Timothy Oliphant's dad? It's a good compliment.
I can't. We're done. We're done. That's it. Goodbye, dude. Oh my god. Oh. What was that?
All right, I'll appeal this in at the higher court and press restrict orders against that person. You have a good day, miss, okay?
Oh god. His girlfriend's like, oh my god.
You want to give it to me?
If we can all give a standing round of applause, that was gold. And guess what? Because I haven't been live, I have a bonus Silver Fox for you. I know everyone in this chat has watched the Karen video that I dropped yesterday. It has exploded in the algo because it's gold. There was a case after that. It was also gold. Not as goldy, but it's gold. Let's roll.
Courtroom. Mr. J, any questions regarding that this in fact is a legal procedure?
Either making assumptions in her head and then accusing me of things that I'm not doing, or my daughter has apparently a very vivid imagination to where she will tell her mother things and then she either will believe it or believe what she wants to, in my opinion, and then come after me with these things and then treat me as if I'm guilty or like I don't deserve my visitation.
Okay, so tell me about that. So what are we talking about right now? Because your motion was not really sure what you're referring to right now.
Yeah, sorry about that. Like I said, I was really upset that day because anyhow, it's either I'm being told that I'm not bathing her or washing her, which I will admit I was restraining from doing that because of fear of the time that she was freaking out on me because I didn't, for whatever reason, she did not want me washing her. She said she would take care of that, would sign anything, written a note, whatever. So yes, my daughter did go back out there because I didn't want to go against her wishes.
So how old is Kayla? How old is Kayla?
She is 4 years old, about to be turning 5 next month.
So on your weekends, you don't clean her at all? You just wait for mom? And you take her back on Sunday night?
Yep, because she told me not to. And I wasn't gonna be.
So you don't.
Okay, here we go. You didn't miss much. I jumped to the good part. Literally, the issue here is dad is disgusting. And against the wishes, he does not clean his daughter all weekend. Yes, this is where we are.
You don't, from Friday night until Sunday evening, you don't bathe her and clean her in any way?
No, well, I did this weekend, yes. After that last court date, that was the issue she brought up.
Okay,
So,
so let's take a pause. So ma'am, you want to, I want to take one thing at a time. Ma'am, do you want to respond to his allegations that you said he's not supposed to bathe her or clean her during his weekends?
To bathing, I said that was fine because he doesn't have there was one issue that I just had a problem with, and I said I didn't care if he bathes her because there's only 2 nights. I didn't care about that. But he won't brush her teeth, he won't change her clothes, she'll sit in the same underwear, her hair won't get brushed. She comes home with her teeth not being brushed for the whole weekend, and that becomes an issue.
My client had indicated, if I may referee, that this past weekend, the child went to from mom to dad in a certain set of clothes and came back in that exact same set of clothes. So in the summer, in 80-degree heat, this kid clearly was not bathed.
You hear this, correct? Okay.
And had literally wore the same clothes for 3 days.
She did get bathed. I will agree.
Okay. This past weekend?
She did get bathed, but
What if you bathe your kid and put the same dirty clothes back on? What the hell's the point?
whenever I called there, she was always in the same clothes. So he did keep her in the same clothes the whole weekend. So she sat in those same clothes all weekend. He never changed her clothes at all.
So Mr. J, do you want to respond to that? She's saying she's coming home with poor hygiene. I'm going to be honest. If you have a young daughter and you're not on top of it before you know it, she's going to have issues. She may have female issues, urinary tract infections, all kinds of stuff if she's not made cleanly enough as a young girl.
Right.
So you want to respond that she claims you're not changing her clothes, not changing her underwear. She's in the same clothes for 2 days, not brushing her teeth, her hair's disheveled. Do you want to respond to all of that?
Yeah. I mean, before, yes, I was a little like trusting my daughter, and that's my fault for her telling me that she went to go brush her teeth when I told her to. I guess I'm now aware that she is not doing it, and that's my fault. You are correct. But as far as the not changing her, I take her out of her clothes when she gets here and put her in the clothes that I bought for her. So that way this doesn't become an issue. She does have clean clothes. And if you like, I could send pictures of all the clothes that I bought.
So let me ask this. So if you're, let me ask this, if you're taking her out of the clothes she was in on Friday, do you wash them and make them clean for when she puts them back on Sunday?
No, I just said, no, I just assume that they're clean and then I take them off.
Well, after a day, do you let your child wear clothes for more than 1 day without washing them?
No, as soon as she gets here, she gets changed out of them, and then I just put them back under.
I know, but then why is she going back into them without them being washed? Why don't you throw them in the washer and clean them?
Okay, I guess I could do that. I just assumed they were clean
Well,
clothes.
no, the point, or why don't you guys have good enough relationship that she can come and go with a pair of clothes that one of you guys purchased, and then she brings it back the next time that she comes?
I just didn't want it to become an issue because I had accidentally forget to send stuff back with her, and I will get.
Guys, come on. You know what she wears on a Friday. You know what needs to go back at the end of the weekend. You have 2 days, Friday to Monday or Friday to Sunday.
It's Friday to Sunday.
Now, do we feel this is a little spite going on too at the cost of his daughter's cleanliness? I mean, is he saying, oh, well, she doesn't want me to clean her? Because I think when he's saying cleaning, he's talking about mom, not daughter. So I think some people in the chat are thinking that it's mom. So I think he's kind of like, well, she doesn't want me to clean her, so I'm not gonna. Come on, man. Silver Fox is not feeling this at all.
And how did you guys come up with that schedule? Was that to accommodate work schedules?
No, that was just what the court had ordered, but I was working at the time, yes.
And so how much makeup time do you allege you've been denied? What are you asking for from the court?
I was just denied that one time, and that's when I filed because, like I said, in the past.
What you think you're owed one makeup weekend?
Yeah.
And why did she tell you why she wasn't letting you have your child that weekend?
And that's what I'm a little confused with. So I don't want to make a false assumption. I'm assuming it had to do with me losing my job and me being in the hospital prior to losing my job. And then my aunt had a colonoscopy and I had transportation, but she said that due to my mental state, which I don't know where that even.
What does your aunt having a colonoscopy have to do with any of this? Well, I had to take my aunt for a colonoscopy.
Came from, because I was perfectly fine. She didn't feel like Kayla should go with me that weekend, and that's just the way she left it. That I wasn't supposed
And
to have.
Remind me which weekend that was.
That was
June
the 9th.
May I respond, Your Honor?
Okay. 1 second, counsel. I'm sorry. I know you haven't been able to respond yet. Let me ask just a couple basic foundation questions. Sir, what city do you live in?
Toledo, Ohio.
You're in Toledo. And ma'am, where are you?
Roseville, Michigan.
So what do you guys do for transportation? How does that work to effectuate the parenting?
He comes and picks Kayla up at my parents' house in Roseville.
And then he brings her back there too?
Yes.
Okay. And all right. Okay. And sir, you said you were hospitalized. What was that for?
No, I went to the emergency room because I was having some lower back severe pain and I had tingling in my legs. So I went to go check it out, and they just told me I have to follow up with the outpatient MRI because they seem.
So have you ever been treated for mental health issues? You're saying time saying that she thought you were not in a mental state of mind issue in the past.
Yeah, she's possibly. I'm sorry if I'm interrupting you because it's like getting cutting in and out.
You're not.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Am I breaking up with everybody else too? As an aside, am I breaking? Oh, I am. All right, we're gonna have to talk to. And that we thought they fixed it. Nodding that I'm breaking up with all of you. So we'll have to let I apologize, guys. I'll have to let IT know. Is this better? That the mic's closer now or no?
It's better.
All right. Okay, so if it's better, I gotta know. It used to be the mic was hypersensitive. Had to push it away. I think they lowered that. So is this better now? Are we doing better?
Yes.
Okay, I apologize. All right. So Ms. Collins, any issues with Mr. J's? Well, I'll let
Mike?
Your counsel respond to everything. So we have a request for one makeup weekend. And sir, that's your primary request, and then you want some extra in the summer. What would you like during this?
I mean, I'm trying to be as flexible and fair with her because she does honestly need both of her parents in her life. I'm not going to deny that. But it would just be nice because she has her throughout the school year, which agreed upon. And I'm just asking for during summer vacations so that way when she does even get older, that I could have more time with my daughter without it conflicting with, her being in school.
So how much time are you asking for in the summer? What do you want the summer schedule to be?
I mean, whatever I'm allowed to have. I mean, as much as
the court usually listens to your proposals and then decides between them. Have you thought about what you want to articulate or ask for the summer?
I'm not sure how it works because I was talking to my brother who works for the school system. So I'm not sure what district or school that my daughter's been enrolled in. So whatever their vacation days are from what's that time to whatever's that time.
So are you asking me for the entire summer? Are you asking her for the entire summer?
Yes, if that's possible.
Okay, well, I mean, you can ask it, whether the law supports that's a whole other.
Oh, no,
question.
I get that.
And counsel, I'm sorry, I haven't let you respond yet. So that, if you'd like to respond to everything.
Yeah, I've got a couple points, Your Honor. And the first is I attached as Exhibit A, text message exchange between the parties. June 9, 12:50, my client reaches out, are we on for this weekend? And he responds, yeah, trying to figure things out. And then he says, I'm planning to come. After, I'm like paraphrasing, following the text message exchange, my understanding is the parties have a conversation on the phone. And he says to her on the phone, I'm going to pick up our daughter, and just so you know, I'm keeping her for the summer. And she says, you can have her for your weekend, but you're not taking her for the summer. That's not what the order says. So then he apparently calls the police. He acknowledges on the record he does not even drive to Michigan. So because he was not in a position to take her for the summer, he decided, from what I'm hearing, that he's just not going to come up to Michigan, does not even get in a vehicle. Then he alleges that he was denied weekend. And by the way, by court order right now, he has every single weekend. So in terms of getting a makeup weekend, he's already got them all. In terms of a denial, I don't see a denial here. If the father of my kid said, by the way, I'm not going to follow the court order, you're not getting your kid back when you're supposed to get your kid back, then I'm going to say, don't bother coming then. If you can't follow the court order, then you shouldn't be in a position to take our kid. If you're going to follow the court order, then okay. And then I just want to also indicate in our answer, Your Honor, that every weekend he's showing up 20 to 30 minutes late. So my client's getting their daughter to her parents' house, they're waiting there, and he's every weekend 20 to 30 minutes late. And after even filing this answer this past weekend, again, late for pickup, late for drop off. And I really wouldn't.
Well, the standard gap period's half an hour, obviously, when you're driving between states. So I mean, if he's within a half an hour, the court's not going to take a lot of issue with that.
Well, respectfully, he's got a phone. Can't he just like text when he's leaving?
Okay.
You don't know that you're going to be 30 minutes late when you're in Toledo, Ohio. So you just
okay. So that's guys with that distance, 30 minutes, but a message would be nice. So that's cool. Okay. And I mean, a sidetrack here.
In terms of the summer vacation, Your Honor, I would like to respond to that. And that is to say, my client feels that really every weekend is too much based on the hygiene issue is not one that was discovered today. The parties were before the court in May, and there was an order that was issued on, and it was issued and adopted by the court after no objections were received following a friend of the court hearing on May 23rd that said, Dad's got to make sure the child has her own sleeping accommodations. He needs to make sure that she's bathing, that her teeth are being brushed. So that motion was filed and heard over a month ago. And today he's like, oh yeah, well, it looks like maybe I should be following up and making sure her teeth are brushed. This was already addressed before a referee at a referee hearing. And it doesn't sound like there's been any efforts to make any changes. So it does not sound appropriate that the child would have more time with Dad when there are issues about female hygiene, brushing of teeth. My client indicates that the child is oftentimes out till 1 a.m. Dad saying it's the weekend, it's okay. That's not okay for a 4-year-old going on 5. That like 9 o'clock is appropriate for a 4-year-old going on 5. It doesn't sound as though Dad is in a position to provide proper care for the child, and for that reason, he shouldn't be given more time. Oh, I did want to make.
Let me ask this: let me ask the parties: is your daughter happy when she comes and goes? Is she happy to see Dad? She's happy to see Mom. It happens fed and healthy. I mean, for most part, is she come and go and it's all good?
As far as I'm, oh, sorry.
She told me she's hungry after. She said one time she had problem waking Dad up to feed her. She's made that response before. I've had to set food the last couple of times because Dad's currently lost his job and doesn't have a lot of money. So my concern is, does he even have money to feed her over the summer?
Okay. But is she crying? She's saying, I don't want to go, or is she go and she's happy and she sees Dad and she gets out of the car, she goes to Dad, she comes back and it's all good?
She likes seeing her dad. She would prefer to she used to see her dad here at my parents' home. The new arrangement, seeing her dad at his home. So she comes home, she holds, I don't know if this is too much information, but she holds her bowels while she's there. She comes home constipated, if that makes sense.
Do you guys talk about that? Do you talk to her? She's coming home constipated? We have to talk about that?
I don't, sometimes she just doesn't. And I don't understand what's not comfortable. She just says she doesn't want to talk about it. I don't know what it is going on.
This is getting real creepy. I mean, my daughter is up my ass 24/7. I can't even go to the bathroom without her up my ass. And she's 12. So for this daughter to feel so uncomfortable, I'm getting creep vibes from this guy. I don't know what you guys think, but she won't even go to the bathroom. That's creepy, man.
Well, she's 4. I mean, so is she coming to you at age 4 and saying something's going on, or you're asking her about?
And at 4, she knows, man. They're smart.
What's happening at Dad's?
Going on, I'll try calling at bedtime over there, and they're still out at 11 o'clock at night doing things out in his truck at 11 o'clock.
So, Mr. J, what's your current living situation? Do you live alone? Do you live with family or friends, roommates? What's your living situation?
I live with my aunt. My aunt.
And how old your aunt?
She is 70 something. She's under 80. That's all I remember. She was
All
born
right.
in.
And ma'am, is his aunt somebody that you know?
Yes.
And she loves her niece?
Think Tom?
Yes.
Is there any issues with her aunt? Okay, so she loves her niece and your niece likes her great aunt or.
But here's the thing. He's not denying anything. He's not saying, oh, no, that's not happening. Oh, we have a great relationship. I haven't heard him say one thing about their relationship. It sounds like an obligation. It sounds like I'm not saying any diddling, but very uncomfortable vibes.
Whatever, okay.
All
right, so sir, you want to respond? She's saying she's coming home constipated. She wants you to be more aware of cleanliness and that you're staying all night with her 11 o'clock.
No, she's probably referring to, I wasn't aware of the constipation thing, but just the last visit that I had with her, she did come to me and say that she did not want to go poop, that she wanted to hold it. And I told her that, no, that is not how we do that. We're not supposed to be holding it. And she went to the bathroom and said, you need to go to the bathroom. You're not going to hold it. I don't know why she's doing that, honestly, but as far as I know, she went, unless she did come back this last weekend and she said she went and she didn't. I don't check.
Do you guys talk at all? You and Miss Collins? Why are you guys not talking about, you have a young child, you guys should be talking about.
And why is he so standoffish about like discussing and taking care of his daughter's like health needs and all that stuff? Like, why are you so standoffish? Ma, I mean, listen, there could be totally something else going on. Oh, I just dropped my massage gun. I highly recommend this thing. Highly recommend. I just don't understand this whole situation. I just don't.
About this stuff.
I mean, on my end, I can't speak for her, but for me, and I just felt like I've tried with her, and it either comes out to allegations or being grilled and questioned or being ridiculed.
Okay. So let me ask you, did you just say you don't go in and check if she went to the bathroom or not?
Yeah, no, I just let her do her business because.
Why would you, okay, so what is, so guys, I'm going to cut to the chase. I don't know what's going on. Are there veiled allegations of sexual impropriety here? Because I'm hearing a dialogue about him not bathing her and now not wanting to go in and help a young child in the bathroom. Is that an issue here, or am I misunderstanding? Because why is there this fear of being around your young child as a father and assisting her hygiene-wise, bathing her in the bathroom? So, Mr. J, what's this fear of assisting your daughter? Have there allegations been made against by Ms. Collins? I don't understand what's going on here. Explain it to me.
Yeah, but Kitty, hello, kid. I don't care if mom says not to wash her. I'm washing my kid. She's with me. She's getting washed. That's an issue. I don't care. You got to talk that shit out.
No, I felt like there was a time that when I did pick her up, she was freaking out and screaming at me because I did let her know that I seen that there was some white stuff between my daughter's private parts and that I cleaned it. And she screamed at me, asking me, why was I staring down there? Why were you doing this? Just like pretty much.
How long ago?
Maybe mom's coaching too. We got that flip side. Okay. I'm being fair here. I'm just observing. I didn't watch the end with you guys. So I could see what's going on both sides. Maybe mom's saying, oh, he can't touch you down there. He's touching you down there. Don't let anyone, so I could see that too. But he's got to grow some balls, man.
What was that?
Oh God. Like maybe, I honestly can't answer that truthfully. It's been
like
a while.
Years, months? Months, what?
Maybe a couple months, if that. So.
Okay, so man, you want to talk about, so guys, guess 4-year-old daughter. She may have female issues, medication, ointment. Guys, we can go down the line. Single dads are going to have to, or not single dads, if you're together and you help care for your children. Is there a concern, ma'am, about he's saying you got really mad at him a couple months ago, talking to you about issues with her private parts?
I did get a little upset with him with how he handled it. I told him next time to call me, we could handle it in a different way.
So what did he do that he handled it that you didn't?
I told him that she can wipe her own area, that Kayla washes herself. I've taught Kayla to wash her own body. He didn't need to be, she can do her own area. That, I didn't understand why, he was doing her own stuff. If there's a concern, to let Kayla do it. If there's something really wrong, let me, to see it. I didn't understand why he was down there touching her. I don't feel that there was ever.
Why do you think how do you know he was touching her?
Because he told me he did.
Well, he told you he wiped whatever was going on. So you guys do understand that there's seems to be a bit of a contradiction, because you're saying he doesn't maintain her hygiene, but then when he's checking her hygiene, there's a trouble with him assisting with her hygiene.
Bingo. But he doesn't brush her teeth. Like it's a simple things. Like he did that, but then doesn't do the simple.
Okay, so let me ask this: how often does she see her pediatrician? Has the pediatrician ever brought any?
Okay, so right there, cut. I think they were having technical difficulties or something, because I had it going. Something happened with the video and I couldn't get back, but I was live recording. So I think their technical issues caught up with them. Guys, that was Maniac Monday on a Tuesday. That was Maniacs Unleashed. I appreciate you guys. You guys are the best. Make sure you check out all my new videos. I threw up my new mailing address if you want to mail me anything. Appreciate everybody. Have a good night. See you tomorrow. We'll be live. Thank you so much. I'm Phil, and you have been Profit.